Alright, so here's where we left off yesterday. We're going to get this whole engine assembled today. I have the front case, we got to get the seal put on. I need to get the front main on, which we do have now. So we're going to do that. We got the rear main, we got the clutch, we got the starter, we got the adapter plate, everything going on. We got to get that on. We got the plates for the motor mounts right here. So I did go and grab 2 extra because they were only $5 a piece, so not too bad. So I need to get this stuff tight. And basically the whole engine's going to be together today, and then I'd like to pressure wash it, and if possible we'll see if we can go get it in. We also went and got a new lift pump because we're going to need that. So I went and got a nice new lift pump, and hopefully all works out. That way customer should have no issues. This will be a turnkey, get it going, and everything should be good. So also got all the fluids and whatnot. We got oil, we got filters, we got you name it, we got it. So let's get this thing thrown together. I'm gonna go grab the front case. We're gonna go get some silicone and try to throw in the front main. All right, we got the new lift pump on with the fitting up here. It's not the best fit in the world, I've noticed, so the guy before must have tweaked it. I wanna get this bracket off right here, and we don't need this. Turns out the HE341, I forgot about this, just connects right to itself. So it makes it super simple. I can get rid of this in between fitting here. I believe this, oh no, my brother's, okay, I think this is a newer engine thing. I think the 97 and 98s had this. So I'm gonna end up getting rid of this, taking this off, and then screwing that straight into there. All right, so I got that piece taken off. We have this line a little bit modified so that we can get it in there. It clears here, which is what we need to do. So next step, apparently that is a size that I don't have. So I need to go get more wrenches out because it's not a 14 and it's not a 17. I think it's a 15. Look at that, 14, nothing. So I will grab that here in a second. Let me see. Nope, not that size, that's 17. So grab that and get that out as well. Alright, so this is temporary. We got the crank pulley on. The crank pulley is permanent, but the bolts are temporary. We're gonna end up putting a seal or a tone ring right here like I did on mine, and then we need to make a bracket underneath for the crank sensor. So we will do that at some point, just waiting on the customer to get me the tone ring. So we're gonna get this in, but we don't have the ECU either, so that kind of sucks. We also gotta go get a key made for it, but everything is installed here. We'll have to worry about the power steering pump later, and I need to get this fitting right here off of this lift pump and put it onto this lift pump. I need to cut these wires here because we're not going to use that sensor. So those, and then we got motor mounts to make and oil feed. So for the lift pump, this is the screen right here. So if you're going to run waste oil, you need to make sure that this is clean, and this will get gummed up. So what I do is every time it used to get clogged, I used to pull this off and clean it out and whatnot. Definitely a pain, but what we're gonna do, put some Teflon on this guy here, pop it in, and it needs to face somewhere down in this direction. So get your Teflon or thread sealant, whatever you're using, and throw that sucker in there. So when you do the swap on one of these, right, so these, you're gonna have to grab both of them. So the factory common rail is gonna have one of these in here. See how that's a male end up top, it's male to male, okay? And then over here is, see that? It would go into the side here on the common rail, which is also a male. Now on the 12 valve, I'll show you here, you need to make sure that you save these from the 12 valve. See how that's a female end? And then you also need to reuse the oil feed from the 12 valve because it's physically longer. See that? It bends down and it actually reaches. If you try to use this one here, it will not reach. Look at this. Look at the distance difference. See that? See how this one's a good bit longer? So you're gonna need to save both of these. There's a copper washer in there. You're gonna wanna put one of them in here, and then you're gonna wanna put one of them up in here. So I am also going to mark that on the sheet because that's one of those things that you definitely need. I am searching the truck to see if I can't find the second one, but I really don't know where it's at because the first one was up here somewhere. So we'll see if we can find it and hope we can find it. If not, we'll need to order one. So adding to the list of things that you need to do for this swap to be successful. So apparently all you got to do is get online and type in, if you don't have these, HX35 oil inlet fittings, go in, type that in. You can get 2 of them. They're 20 bucks a piece, which is kind of outrageous. But if you also don't have a feed line, the HX35 one works. Like I said, you guys can see here, look at that. So you take the HX35 one, you put the long end in this way, and you'll probably need to get a new one because you can't bend that. I'm going to end up replacing it on mine as well. And then once you get that installed to where you're happy with it, then you need to get the little fitting there. May need to modify, actually you'll probably have to pull this guy off here, or move it. But you'll be able to put that right there, see how it fits. So we'll just need to get the fitting. And I'm going to soak these because obviously we're not going to use it. And then we're going to use the HX35 oil drain. So yeah, more things that are not going to work out to get this engine in today. Kind of disappointed, but this goes to show if everything works out great, we could have had this thing running today. But we are missing things that are crucial. Oil feed for the HX35. We're missing this bolt here, so I'm going to go ahead and order that stuff. We're going to have to make these plates. So these, I'm going to go over these. If you guys want me to, let me know if on this checklist you want me to go through and on each individual step, let me know if you think it makes sense to list a video area so that you guys can take these videos and reference that specific part in the video. I feel like that would make the most sense, but it's going to be a lot of work on my part. So if enough people say yes, I'll do it. But it's one of those things, it is going to be a shitload of work for me to sit there through hours of footage finding each individual segment. So let me know if you want me to do that. If you guys think it's worth it, I'll do it. But front main is in, everything's good over here. That was the easiest front main I'd ever installed. So now we got to do the rear main. We'll just do the rear main next and the oil pan, and then we can get the clutch and the backing plate on, and then we got to do the oil pan as well. So I want to do the oil pan at some point as well. So with the front main, I didn't show it, but what I did was I had the case out and I used a block of wood and smacked it in evenly, and then put the little tool in there, and then, you know, tighten down every little bolt so that it would push itself in. So I'm going to do the same principle back here. So when Cummins sells this, apparently they don't sell it with the tool. So you can see, you know, that fits over there and whatnot. So what I do is I am going to install this with a piece of wood and a hammer. We're going to put that just like that, and then we're going to smack it on. So what I'm finding the best way to do is lay it on a flat surface. Put your board back here so you're not mauling the surface back here, and then pound that in, and then you're good. Now, what I want you guys to notice is, look at this crank. There's a little bit of a groove there. So we may have to push it in deeper or use it on the outside as possible. I'm not sure what we're gonna end up doing, because if I were to put that on just like that, it looks like it would ride along that outside. So I want to try to avoid a leak if possible. It's the whole point of doing this now, because we're gonna have to pull the pan next. So what I'll do is I'm gonna get this stalled and in place, gasket the back, and then we'll do the pan. We're coming in there next, so you can see there is some pan gasket missing. But that's how we're doing it. I need to figure out how much of this I want to assemble today, because I think I'm just gonna take this engine and put it in the back of the pickup. So I want to get the oil pan done today, get the motor mounts done today, and then put this whole thing in the back of the pickup. And I'm just gonna take it and get it sprayed off somewhere else. So rather than doing it here, I can just go to one of the car washes tomorrow and just grab it. Alright, forgot to pick up the camera when I was doing that, but I got it in. Basically how you see, it's not tight yet because I want to let the RTV dry, and that's pretty much it. Basically what I did was, once you have the tool in there, which I threw away, you're going to tighten the bolts up and let it just pull itself in, as opposed to trying to beat it in there. So now, someone made mention about this here, and I appreciate the comment, because that means that we can stop having to drill holes into our oil pans. And look at that, we can bend this here. What I did was I took a little pry bar and I bent this until there was, you know, just a little bit of clearance between there, and then it'll still touch. So what I had to do was I had to kink this spot a little bit, which isn't a big deal. You know, there's still plenty of flow here. It's still a good angle. You have to punch it in a little bit, and you have all the clearance in the world there. So now the next thing is I'm gonna cut this, and we're gonna run a hose from one side to the other, And that's it. That's pretty much how simple it is. Wow. Okay, you learn new things to do something, and this is why I update the list. Alright, so as long as you're using an HE341 or 51, looks like we can get a direct shot on that. Now, I would like to bend this a little bit more back, but for the most part, this is a direct shot. So if you were to go straight, it would come back a little bit behind, but we've got a nice hose on that. We need to get the motor mounts made, but you can see that it will sit in the holes without touching. So that's awesome. We just need to figure out the clearances between a hose clamp and whatnot. So it shouldn't be too bad. So this is the 5x11 plate you need. You don't need to make it 5. Honestly, you could probably get away with 4, but for structural integrity, I do kind of prefer it because I know I cut mine before at 4.5. And honestly, I just prefer it. So what I did was I actually center punched where the holes are at. So I want to get these as perfect as possible, and that's just how we're going to do it. So like I said, I center punched everything, and we are going to be letting this go. So this is where we're going to leave it today, but I'm going to take it with me because now I promised you guys I was going to pressure wash it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to plop it up in the back of the truck, probably put the clutch and that thing underneath of it, strap it down, that way it's not going to go anywhere, and then we'll go take it to the car wash today. So before the end of the day, you'll get to see an engine get cleaned. So, and I want to make sure and pay specific attention to areas like that. So, and then tomorrow we'll do the oil pan, the gasket, and then we'll throw on the starter and all that. We'll finish up the motor mount plates, and we'll go from there. You guys can see we just need a piece here. I gotta make a gasket for that. Just kind of have it setting in there. Same with the motor mount. We'll have to make a gasket for it, and then get a piece to go from here to here. Might flare it like this one here, might flare that. And it looks like we should have, this will probably come out, what, 1/4 inch, so it'll probably sit like right about there. So we'll probably have to put our hose clamp like somewhere back in there, but it does clear, does not touch at all, which is what we wanted. Alright, so I'll film it for you guys. We'll film the shit show. We'll see how we can get this in there. Like I said, that's going to go, and we'll do it sideways. So I'm going to pull all of my car straps out and set that in there. By the way, the car straps do come with the trailer if you guys buy it. $13,000 or best offer. So let's get her up there, and if you guys can buy my trailer sometime this or next week, I'm going to pick up another trailer. So if you guys want to see me pick up something that's different, buy mine. Alright, so I can shut this off because it's been like 11 minutes now. Let's see what happens. Okay, let the crane down. Okay. She's pretty sturdy. I'm going to throw 2 more straps on it. I want some pulling this way, some pulling that way, some pulling the side. Shouldn't be all that bad. There we go. I'll get this thing. Before I pull this thing out, I am going to pull out, but I want to get the other 2. And the new springs, look at that, we have clearance. So I don't have to lift the bags up. The old springs, the way this thing used to sit even lower, I had to always put air in the bags. So let me get 2 more straps on this thing. See, that one's loose. I don't like that. Let me get 2 more straps on this thing, and we will see what happens. Well, she ain't going anywhere. I got 4 straps on it. Some of them tighter than others, but like I said, this is literally balanced. I took the motor mount off. I can close the tailgate. So pretty much what I did was I pushed this motor mount up against the tailgate, locked it down so that I couldn't come any closer to the tailgate, and then took it off, and I was able to open the tailgate. So all good. I'm gonna clean this mess up and attempt to get up this driveway in two-wheel drive. Also, just listen to how nice this thing sounds on startup. Guys, I said I need four-wheel drive. This is the only driveway I've ever needed it, and now we don't even need it because the stones are so packed. So this is gonna get paved eventually. So it's like, yes, let's go back to it just to pave the driveway. So I'm spraying that engine with spray 9 now ahead of time to let it soak. And oh, it's windier than all hell. It's like 70 degrees, and it's definitely gonna rain. It's super windy. So I'm gonna get up here, turn around, we're gonna head to the car wash, whether it's pouring rain or not. All right, so here she is. I'm gonna get it all sprayed off. What I wish that I would have done to my engine originally, but probably not gonna film the cleaning of it, just the aftermath. So unfortunately I can't see back there either, so it's pretty dark. But let's get this thing all sprayed down and whatnot and see what spots we can hit, and we'll go from there. Well, that really does suck, but I can't really see much. I'm pretty sure I got it as clean as we're really gonna get it. You know, there's little spots here and there, but yeah, we'll see. I can't get back underneath the Ppump. So next time I do this, lesson learned, I have to strip it down bare, but I got it pretty good, I think. You know, not perfect by any means, but definitely a lot cleaner and no oil residue in most of the spots. Got up underneath, back under in there. Let's see. Got up under there for the most part, but if I would have had a light, that would have made it easier, but I got a bunch of it, so all this stuff's clean. I was able to seal that so we didn't get anything in the oil. There you go, everything's all clean for the most part. Now we're gonna head home and we will start trying to install this thing tomorrow. Now tomorrow's gonna be an interesting video because a lot of things are gonna happen tomorrow. I need to go grab Liam. I need to try to get as much done on this truck as possible. And I also, we bought a box truck. So going to be picking up the box truck tomorrow, doing all the titling and paperwork and shit. So let's see if this thing starts. Listen to that rumble. Yeah, I like the sound of this thing without the vanes hooked up. I mean, it's a little sluggish without the vanes, but it starts spooling around 2,500 RPMs. Anything under that, it's 5 pounds of boost max. So, really, really runs great when the vanes are hooked up. But I want to find a way to like put it in certain modes that I can drive around with the vanes open, but when I need the boost, it'll kick on. So I don't know. There's a lot to control with figure out with the VGT. Really good. Vanes open, a decent amount of pre-boost, just enough that it doesn't smoke. It's like a haze. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to dislike, hate, comment, and unsubscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out my Amazon affiliate links down below. Go check out Coinbase and go check out Mudflap. Go sign up on there. We get free stuff. So appreciate you guys. Later.